Please mute. Okay, so today is class 16. In this class, so in previous consecutive classes, you know how to write program for SR latch. You know how to write for T flip-flop. You also know how to write for JK flip-flop. Okay. So now basically you can apply this knowledge of writing to implement the flip-flop when I need to implement the sequential circuit. Okay. So today's class is about some model-based implementation. So model-based implementation of sequential circuit. Now, can you tell me that how many models you know? One is what? What type of models are there to implement the sequential circuit? There are two type of model. Okay, Moore, another is Mealy model.
Yes.
Okay. Now, before I start about Moore and Mealy model, can you tell me that what is state or what is state? Basically, define state. So a flip-flop. So you need to understand this, okay, and it is very important. Let me write. A flip-flop can store one bit of data.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट।
Mhm.
सर वो जो रिकॉर्डिंग है सर, मैं एक सर 18th को सर मैं एक मेल रिसीव किया हूँ और उसमें एक सर रिकॉर्डिंग है।
Sir, I guess
Mhm.
that will be the.
That may be the yes, yes.
ये सर उसमें टी फ्लिप फ्लॉप जेके फ्लिप फ्लॉप का भी है, बट सर हमको पता नहीं लग रहा, हम तो क्लास भी नहीं किए थे, फिर भी रिसीव से वो।
Okay, no problem. Don't worry. So if you have received, so you can just send me and make me editor. Okay, so
ये
that I
सर
can.
श्योर श्योर।
Okay. So now concentrate.
ये सर थैंक यू।
So you see that a flip-flop can store one bit of data as either level 0, okay, or 1, and that is already noticed because it is binary. Therefore we can say therefore we can say that that it is or it can be, okay, which is a particular word, that it can be in one of two states. Okay, so if a sequential circuit, let us say that if a sequential circuit has n flip-flop, okay, so has, let us say it is n flip-flop, n flip-flops, then it can store capital N. So n number of flip-flop, okay, it can store n number of data, right? So n bits of data having one of 2 to the power n combinations. Very much important line, okay? So to say that, I am just I wrote all these sentences. So first of all, the state basically means in binary, basically it may be 0 or 1. So there are 2 states, okay? So the flip-flop can be of any one state, either 0 or 1. And in a sequential circuit, if you have n number of flip-flops, so basically you can store n number of data, okay, having one of the 2 to the power n combinations. So how many combinations possible? 2 to the power n, out of which you can have at least one combination, and that combination of basically n number of data or bit data if you have if you use n number of flip-flops. Okay, so I think this is clear to you. So since there are finite number of states in a sequential circuit, so we can say it's a finite state machine. So you can see it is not infinite states. So it is also another important thing, that as you have, so since there are finite state, since there are finite states, so finite states basically finite number of state, okay, finite number of states. The sequential circuit can be called as finite state machine. Now we have model, Murray model and Mealy model, but before that, this is very much important. That's why I wrote all these sentences. Okay, what is state? So state in a sequential circuit, that depends upon the output of flip-flop. Okay, it has two type of output, or either it is a two level, either 0 or 1. Point number 1. Point number 2 is that it can have any one of the state, might either it may be 0 or 1. This is the second point. And third point, if you have used n number of flip-flop, basically you have n bit of data, and which is the combination of, or which is basically one special case of combination, and total combination is possible is 2 to the power n. So 2 to the power n is a total number of combination, out of which one combination can be your n bit data. Okay, and that can be one state of flip-flop or sequential circuit where n number of flip-flop you have used. Okay, so this is the third point. And fourth point, as you know, that the states is now finite, it is not infinite. That's why the formation what you have is basically a finite state machine. So basically finite is for the finite number of combination, and state machine because it can move from one state to another state. Okay, so now I will be just discussing about two important model, not in details because already you have already know, but I will just draw the diagram, and based on that I will just write, or maybe start writing the code, okay, or how to implement it in a VHDL. So first of all, Mealy model. Mealy model. Now in this Mealy model you have state 1 here, let us say, and you have another state, let us say state 2, and there is a transition from state 1 to state 2, and the transition will happen because of, can you tell me because of what? Definitely there should be a change, or there should be any parameter change. That's why you can change the one state to another state. So who will control that? Either you can control through input, or you can control through output. Okay, so this is the Mealy model. Okay, and what about the Murray model? And you need to just focus when you are writing program, you have to just remember in which model you are actually following. Okay, Now Moore model. Here also there will be state transition from one state to another state, but it will be not similar. Here let us say state 2, let us start from state 2, and you need to determine the output. Okay, this is so here the state along with the output you have to implement, and then from state 2 let us say you want to come to the state 1, because already you have come from state 1 to state 2, so let us say just opposite, so state 1 here, and output you have to mention, and this transition will only happen based on the current input. Okay, so these two architecture you need to follow when you write the program for a particular event based situation. So let us create an event first, okay, and to write one code. So whatever problem formulation it may be, so the consumer will provide that. Based on the problem statement, you have to generate or you have to make your own state diagram. Okay, the application may be, and this application are the different type of application. It is not only restricted to electronics application, it may be a process industry application, it may be like electric vehicle power electronics application, it may be the conveyor belt application. Okay, so whatever application it may be, the first thing is that the problem statement will be given to you, and the problem statement, based on that you have to first make a block diagram or sequential circuit or state diagram. Then you are allowed to write the code as per the model, either Moore model or Miller model, whatever you want to use you can use. But first task is to, so what is that point? First task is to generate a state model. This is the first task. Before you start writing code, the first task is what? That theoretically you need to draw the state diagram. Now you can ask me, sir, from where I will get the state diagram? The answer is, the state diagram you have to draw from problem statement. Okay, problem statement will be given to you. Problem statement, it may be a project. Okay, so problem statement, application may be power electronics, maybe conveyor belt, maybe mechanical transition. So problem statement will be given, and based on that you have to draw the state diagram, and if you complete the state diagram, then the next thing is to write a VHDL code for that, applying this model. Okay, what I just discussed. Now let us give you one example, because I will not do now I will not give any problem statement first. I will just write a state diagram, and then I will write accordingly one code, and slowly when you understand the process, maybe I can take one problem and can write a VHDL code after drawing the state diagram. Okay, that will come sequentially later stage. Okay, so first let us understand the simple thing of state diagram. So let us say, just let me just draw one state diagram. Okay, and you know how the state diagram, let us say this is 0 0. Okay, one state, it means what? Anyone, can you tell me that it means what? Is the current state. Okay, 0 state. Okay, now 0 state to state 1 if I want to go, so there is a need to change, so let us say this is the change. Okay, and then if you have in this state or state number 1, if you want to come back, then this will ensure that the change. Okay, so one is what? Input. Okay, and this, once again, if this is 0, then it will come back to the previous state. Okay,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
So for a change to write, we need we write it about input by output, right, sir?
Hmm.
So, but here it's right. You wrote like one as an input
Hmm.
and 0 as an output, but we are getting one as output and 0 as input.
No,
In
don't
the
confuse.
first case.
This is the current state. Okay, this is the next state. Even the state changes, output may be 0. Okay, but input, the state transition happens based on the change in the input. If you place 0 0, 0 0 means what? Output is 0, it is not changing, but input you have not given an input, it means 0. So in that case it will be remain here in that particular state, which is called 0 0.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Got it. Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now next, let us say that and you say already that you say, let us say you are in state 1 and your input is 0, so it will come back to the initial state. If you place here 1, okay, that is a state diagram. You see, this state diagram I am drawing arbitrarily to make you understand how to write the code for this particular state diagram. But remember, this state diagram has to come from a problem statement, okay? And I have not given any problem statement. I just arbitrarily drawing one state diagram, and from there I will just help you to how to write the VHDL code for that particular state diagram. But slowly, once you understood the concept, then I will take up one problem statement, then I will draw the state diagram, and from there I will write the VHDL code for that. Okay, just wait. Now let us say 0 1. Now in that 0 1, if you apply 0, already you know it will change to the previous state. Okay, now let us say you apply 1. Okay, okay, then what will be the output? So that means, let us say you change the another state, you change to other state. Other state means 2, let us say it, maybe you can change it. So 1 0. And this is this. And if you just place, let us say in that particular state, if you place 0, maybe you can go to other state which is 1 1. Okay. And here in this particular position, if you place 1, then it will go to this state 1 and output will be 1 here. Okay, see, this will be the whatever I am saying, right? Input and output. Input is the control which is coming from the problem statement. Output is also based on the problem statement. So the consumer will tell you that at what condition output should be high. Okay, so this is the case. So here, if you are in the second state, or maybe the first one, second and third, okay, third state, and you applied 1, okay, the output should be 1. So it should, and also there should be transition from this state to second state. Okay, and next let us say if you place 0, so output will be 0 and it will go back to the initial starting position. Now here you 1 0, if you place 1, it will be remain here and output will be 0. So let us say this is the state diagram what I have drawn. This is the state diagram, and just imagine that this state diagram is coming from a problem statement. Okay, now the state diagram, we have 4 state. This is a starting, okay, initial state, the first state, the second state, and the third state. Okay, and let us investigate first again, and after that I will write the code. The initial state, if you place 0, the output will be 0 and it will remain in that same state. Okay, if you place 1, so it will output will be 0, but the state will change from 0 to 1. Okay, now if you are in the first state and you place 0, or if your input is 0, the output will be 0 and it will come back to once again the starting position or starting state. Now here, when you are in first state, in place of putting 0, if you place 1, then you should go to the second state, okay, which is 1 0. Now you have in one state or second state, and during this condition, if you place 1, it will remain in that state forever. If you place 0, then only you can go to the other state, which is the state 3 or final state. So this is the ending state. And in the ending state, if you place 0, so it will come back to the starting state. If you place 1, the output will be 1 and it will change to the second state. First state. Okay. So this is the state diagram. Now let us just focus on, maybe if I ask you that how to just it is not required, but you can write your state diagram or state table. Okay, you can write a state table for that. Okay, it is not necessary, but for better understanding you can have this. Okay, so what I will write, I will write present state, and I will also write input, because input is also there. So input, present state, input. Okay, and you have next state, and finally the output. See, what I am doing, it should come from a problem statement, but for initial, because you are starting a new one, so as you are new, so just I will do based on arbitrary example, and slowly you can understand how to do it for practical or real-time problem. Okay, and then you can appreciate that how this knowledge is useful. Okay, so let us say that you have, okay, two flip-flops. So present state, two flip-flops are there. So just make it like Q2 is a flip-flop number 2, okay, in, and here that is Q1, let us say, in. And don't confuse about the n, either it will be 0 or 1. Okay, n here is 2 value, and x is the input, let us say, is 1 bit, single bit. So what I will do here, I will just write the code simple 0 0 0. Okay, 0 0 1. Just let me fill that box. 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0. Then 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, so this is the thing, and then next is, so you are interested in what will be the next output. Okay, so what I will write here, so Q2 n plus 1, n plus 1 means the next state, and Q of 1 next plus 1. So see, this knowledge is very much important when you apply it in power electronics. So you can write your VHDL code as per the requirement, and you can design your own control loop after writing it. Okay, so if you know the state, based on that you have to write your code, and then you can implement the sequence. Okay, so let us just fill it. Can you help me that what I have to write? So let us say it is 0 0. You tell me now, if it is 0 0 and input is 0, so what I will be there, I will be in a 0 state. Okay, and output will be 0, isn't it? See, you are in 0 0 state. Okay, input is 1, so what I have to go, I have to go for the first state, output will be 0, isn't it? Hello, are you listening to me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you tell me now that if you tell me this, I will not help you. So let us say 0 1 and input is 0, so what will be the next state?
The first state, sir.
So 0 0. And what about the output? 0. Okay, now use 0 1, okay, and the first, then what I should go there, what I will go, where I will go, 1 0, output will be 0. Okay, so now you are in 1 0 state and you are putting 0, so what I will go, where I will go, 1 1, output will be 0. Okay, now 1 0 1, that means what will happen, it will be in the same state, output will be 0. You see, I have already drawn. Okay, so 1 0, if you put 0, then it will go to the next state, which is 1 1, right, and output will be 0. And if you place 1, it will be in the same state, output will be 0. Okay, so that I have just written here. So you see, 1 0, you're giving 1, that means it will be in the same state, output will be 0. Okay, now you tell me this 1 1 and input is 0, so where I will go, initial state.
Present state.
Yeah, and if it is 1 1 in the state, and if you are placing 1, then what will happen, it will go to first state, output will be 1. Okay, so this you know, the thing is that from the state table, it will be easier to write your code. Okay, sometimes it is difficult to write code directly from the, you know, that kind of state diagram, difficult. So that's why someone may say that the next step we can generate your state table. But if you have practice to write your code, so you do not need to write the state table directly. Looking from this, you can write your code. But as you are the first time, so you have to. It is better you just do it. Okay, because you can write your code easily after that. Okay, now if I ask you to implement the same state or the problem statement using VHDL code, how to write? Same what I just discussed, same you know, state table. Let me just implement it using VHDL code. How do I implement? Tell me what will be the input. So library, I have to start from the library. Okay, so library IEEE. And then what I have to write? Use IEEE dot standard dot logic Okay, so that is about simple library definition. Now next what I have to do? Entity. So now I think you can write. So what is that? State. So state table st, let us say entity st is. Next what I will write? Port. Tell me what I will write in the port. X equal to in. Are you listening to me or not? X equal to standard
Yes,
logic.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I should stop here. Tell me what I should take. Anyone? This is the sequential circuit. So sequential circuit depends upon what? Only input, only current input, or what? What are the things you need to remember?
So the present input also, like present state.
Or anything else? Only present state. Is there anything related to clock? I told you in the previous class.
So sequential circuit, yes, clock is required. Level edge level present.
Clock. So it is also input. Standard logic. Clear. It is just to take. So if you do not like, you should not take. So let us just take it. It is not mandatory, but clock is mandatory. Okay, now output. So Q1 and Q2. Okay, Q1 and Q2. This is the state already I have written. So you tell me this, what I will write for this Q1 and what I will write for this Q2. Very interesting. Is it a simple input? Oh, sorry, simple output.
In out, sir. In out, sir.
Yes, it is not. You see, whenever you have a sequential circuit, it has a dependency. You see, it has a dependency. You have 0 0 0 1. It has dependency. Okay, based on the input, it is changing from one state to other, and it also has to come back to the original state if something changes, input changes. So basically, it has to hold the previous value. Okay, so therefore, the thing is that whenever you have to do this kind of problem, so you remember the output is not only simple output. It is about the intermediate state. The state always will be in-out function. So Q1, Q2 basically state. So it is basically in-out function. As simple as that. Okay, now once again you tell me. I already have told you that how to implement. So in-out I have written. What else I have to write? It is a standard logic. That also I have accepted. Okay, standard logic. Let us see. Anything else I am missing here? I have not initialized the first point. So initialization, always remember, it should start from zero. So it should start from zero state. Okay. So as per the program, okay, you can start from one state as well, if it is the requirement. So as per the problem statement, I am starting from 0. But in some case, you can start from 0 1. Okay, absolutely no problem. Okay, so here what I will write is 0, and here also 0. So I will start from 0 0 state. This is the current state. Okay. Now let us say y is the
So
output.
colon equal to na, sir.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That syntax error. Yeah, it should be equal. Okay. So y should be output. It should be also standard logic. And what about the output? Initial output? It should be 0, right?
Yes, sir.
So let me erase that. Bracket close and then semicolon. Okay. So here your port definition is clear. Second part. So end port now. So end. What I have taken the name. Name is ST. Okay. So end ST. Now I will write the architecture. So now you tell me that what type of architecture I need to take here. Architecture what?
So behavioral model.
Check. Behavioral of ST is. So this is a behavioral model. Okay. ST is the program. Now is. Then begin. Process. Anyone tell me that what I will write?
Clock.
Very good. Clock. Then begin. Okay. And then after that, anyone can tell me, can volunteer. After that, what I should write? Clear. Okay. First of all, clear. I need to just, if CLR equals to 1, okay, then what? Anyone? Q1 has to be 0. Yes or no? Comma.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, semicolon. And what I am forgetting here, that Q2 also will be 0, semicolon, and output y, it should be also 0, semicolon. Okay, so this is the what I can say, it's a dummy line. Okay, if you take clear, then you can write everything is 0, whatever state it may be. Okay, whatever state, the current state, it may be 1, whatever value, so it should directly go back to 0 state. Okay, if your clear is 1, if not, okay, that means else if. Okay, then what I should write? Then else if rising edge. See, I am always taking rising edge. Okay, if you do not like, you can take falling edge as well. There is no problem. Then Q1. Tell me what I should write for this rising edge Q1. Then what I should write, and what I should also write for this Q2. Okay, and then your program Y output. So these 3 sentences I have to write. Anyone? After that, I will discuss another way to write the code. But first, easy way, tell me that how I can implement. Anyone? So let me go to that state diagram. Okay, so that what is that state table? Okay, yeah. In state table, I am writing for Q1. Is yes or no? Q1 is here. Yes. This is 1. This is 1. This is 1. Okay. So how to write the code for that? So X is the, see, this is 1. If your input is 1 and Q1 is 0 and Q2 is what? Q2 is also 0. So I can write X, okay, not Q2, not Q1. So this state I can write like this. So I'm writing, maybe I'll write like here. Okay, so what is that? X and not Q1, okay, and not Q2. Yes or no? Or you have already done this type of program, this type of thing. Yes or no? Or second term, can you tell me that what should I do? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, second state you tell me now then. What should I do? This is the second state. So what can I not X? Then
Sir,
not
not
Q1
Q1, not Q1.
and Q2. Yeah. Let us write that. So not X and not Q of what? Q of 1, okay, and Q2. So this is the second, okay. Then or, is there anyone is there? I think it is there. First, second, third, okay, huh? Here it is there. So everything is 1, 1, 1. So that means what I can write? X and Q1 and Q2. So X and Q1 and Q2. Then semicolon. Okay. So this is the line that you have to write. This is for Q1. Okay. What about Q2? Similarly, you can write for Q2 as well. Okay. So let me go back to that Q2. Okay. So here you see, you have this 1, 1, 1. Okay. So what can I write for that?
X, Y1 and not Y2.
X, not Q2.
Okay. So first, let us target this X, not Q2 and Q1.
Q1.
Oh, sorry, X and not Q2 and Q1. That part is over. Or next state, this one 1, 0, 0. That means
Sir,
not X,
not Q1, ma'am.
not X, and not of
Q1,
Q1 and
Q2, Q2.
Q2. Very good. And or last here. So X1, then Q2, not Q1. X1 and Q2 and not of Q1. Okay. And what about Y? Let me go to the output Y. See, it is only for this one I. So what I will
Yes.
write? X1, X2, X into Q1, Q2, right? So
X
X,
and Q1 and Q2.
very good. So now it is program is complete. So end if, end process. End if, end process, and end behavioral. Okay. Now you see how interesting it is. You have a complex state diagram, okay, fairly complex state diagram here. That means the problem statement is also difficult. So the state diagram fairly complex. Now you see how easily you can implement in writing a simple VHDL code. Okay, only these 3-line code. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and your problem statement will be solved. So this is the power of FaceDL. Okay, so you can completely solve the complex state diagram very easily if you know how to just write it. Now here it will say I have taken, let us say, 2 input. Maybe in the practical scenario, maybe more number of inputs are there. How to handle that? Is it every time it is possible to write everything in this way? So I gave you some tools to write. I gave you tools like case structure. Okay, so let us solve the same program maybe using the case structure. Okay, that will be helpful, and how we can implement in those cases. Is it clear to you? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So let us just write in this way. So how I can write and how, so please see. Okay, so I will, let me just write. I don't know whether time will permit or not. No, I think today I should not start. It is already 47. It will take time because the 4 state are there, na? So A, B, C, D I have to take. 1, 2, 3, 4 for A, B, C, D, and A, B, C, D 2 cases. So it will take time. Maybe the next class I can do it. Okay, it will take time. Okay, because I have to write it in a generalized way. So right now what I did it using a simple this expression. Okay, but now if your number of variables are more, then I already told you can go for the case structure. So if I have to go for case structure, then I have to take variable. Let us say 0, 0 I will consider it as A, 0, 1 this state I will consider it as B, 1, 0 I will consider it as C, and 1, 1 I will consider it as D. So I have to map that state to ABCD first, and then based on this input I have to change based on X input, either it is 0 or X is equal to 1. Based on that I have to create different cases. Okay, case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4 for X equal to 0, X equal to 1, case 3, case 4. So this thing I have to write. So it is a lengthy code, so today I think I cannot complete it. Maybe in the next class I will show you how to write. Okay, but this is the generalization. Okay, why it is interested, because this is the generalization. Any state you can assign to the variable to one commonly ABCD, and based on the input, either it is 0 or 1, you can write different case structure, and then you can implement the code easily. So you do not need to see every time it is X and Q or if Q1, okay, like that. But if your state diagram is simple, let us say it is not having complicated diagram and all, you see, this is a fairly complex state diagram. What I have written here, this is not a simple, this is a fairly complex state diagram. But however, I can just write it in a very easy way. Okay, but if you have more complex than this, definitely you can use this case structure thing. Okay, and this style of coding. Otherwise, it is easy to implement. Okay, in most of the cases, if your variables are less, you directly go for this approach. If your variables are more, you have more number of cases, then definitely it is required. Okay, I will tell you in the next class how to implement it. Okay, if you have any doubt, okay, another thing, let us just give you one task. Okay, please implement this when you have leisure time. Please implement 8-bit ROM. Okay, so 3 into 8-bit ROM. Okay, memory, basically memory element, you implement 3 into 8-bit ROM module using VHDL code, using VHDL, that you try to implement 3 into 8-bit ROM. Okay, I think you have understood the flip-flop concept, so I think you can use it, and you know that in ROM module you can use a flip-flop, there is no problem. Okay, so you write your code, you try in your leisure time, you try to implement. If you can't solve it, then I will definitely help you to write. Okay, but today I cannot complete as for the time. Okay, so I am stopping here. Next class I will definitely write the code in this approach, and please try to implement 3 into 8 ROM module using VHDL code. Okay, any question you want to ask based on today's theory, what I just discussed?
Sir, in
Sir, in
state
state
diagram,
diagram,
the
the
output and
output and
input also
input also.
depends on the conditions, right?
Yeah,
So
what I have written here, See, from 0 0 to let us say 0 1, if input is 0, output will be 0. Okay, the state is changing, but output will be 0 if you are giving input as 1. This is from where I am getting this. This is I am getting from one problem statement.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So based on the problem statement, I already told you have to prepare the state diagram first. So you can ask me, sir, what is this state diagram then? This is a random state diagram to make you understand how to process. Okay. If you understand the processing element, or if you understand the writing code part from a state diagram, then I will directly go for the practical scenario problem, maybe from the practical problem, how to draw a state diagram. It is very easy, it is not difficult. And then you can write your code accordingly. Okay. So for today's class, the state diagram what I have drawn, it is totally random. It is not there is no problem statement I have taken. I just consider one state diagram, and based on that I have written the code. Okay, so you cannot ask me that okay sir, why it is 0? Means okay, you are giving 1, okay, and your state is changing from 0 state to 1 state, then why output is 0? So that means problem statement is saying that only. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'm stopping here today. Okay, we will meet again in the next class.